Welcome everybody to today's GOT16 RD4 Doug Jones League Daily Recap Podcast for January 17, 2023, brought to you by the good folks at SpaceX and IS Fans Productions. Got bombed Redux met Hanks A Lot 6 for a 3-game set in American Family Field in Milwaukee today, playing on grass. Got bombed Redux won the first game over Hanks A Lot 6 in a blowout by a score of 11-1. Winning pitcher was Kane, who pitched a complete game. Losing pitcher was Corcoran. Got bombed Redux won the second game over Hanks A Lot 6 by a score of 8-1. Winning pitcher was Klipstein. Losing pitcher was Ramsey. Got bombed Redux won the third game over Hanks A Lot 6 in a blowout by a score of 15-5. Winning pitcher was Garces. Losing pitcher was Vukovic. Kentucky Mules met Stonehurst Mighty Seasons for a 3-game set in Citi Field in New York today, playing on grass. Stonehurst Mighty Seasons won the first game over Kentucky Mules by a score of 8-2. Winning pitcher was Callahan. Losing pitcher was Blayholder. Stonehurst Mighty Seasons won the second game over Kentucky Mules in a pitcher's duel by a score of 2-1. Winning pitcher was Hansen. Losing pitcher was Johnson despite tossing a complete game. Stonehurst Mighty Seasons won the third game over Kentucky Mules in a squeaker by a score of 3-2. Winning pitcher was Murphy. Losing pitcher was Valverde. Steve Farr picked up his 15th save. Doug Jonestown Massacre met Rocket Dogs for a 3-game set in Wrigley Field in Chicago today, playing on grass. The first game under cloudy skies, before a nice crowd of 28,635, was a walk-off victory for the home squad when Temple lined a single to right center. Gentile scored. Winning pitcher was Cordero. Losing pitcher was Scherer. Doug Jonestown Massacre won the second game over Rocket Dogs by a score of 9-5. Winning pitcher was Leesenby. Losing pitcher was Ojeda. Rocket Dogs won the third game over Doug Jonestown Massacre by a score of 5-3. Winning pitcher was Higbee. Losing pitcher was Sewell. BOD Game of Thrones met Baby Got Bat V for a 3-game set in Fulton County Stadium in Atlanta today, playing on grass, the first game under sunny skies, before a nice crowd of 36,023 was a slugfest that was a walk-off victory for the home squad when Colavito lined a single to shallow center. B. Jackson scored. Final score was 12-11. Winning pitcher was Gagne. Losing pitcher was Risley. BOD Game of Thrones won the second game over Baby Got Bat V by a score of 7-2. Winning pitcher was Martin. Losing pitcher was Gagne. Baby Got Bat V won the third game over BOD Game of Thrones in a slugfest by a score of 13-8. Winning pitcher was Peranowski. Losing pitcher was Martin. Electric Amish met Miami Goldfish for a 3-game set in Marlins Park in Miami today, playing on grass. Miami Goldfish won the first game over Electric Amish by a score of 6-3. Winning pitcher was Wakefield. Losing pitcher was Reuter. Miami Goldfish won the second game over Electric Amish by a score of 5-2. Winning pitcher was Smoltz. Losing pitcher was Ostermuller. Electric Amish won the third game over Miami Goldfish by a score of 7-2. Winning pitcher was Males. Losing pitcher was Crowder. Green Sand Beach met Plymouth First Comers for a 3-game set in Fenway Park in Boston today, playing on grass. Plymouth First Comers won the first game over Green Sand Beach in a squeaker by a score of 6-5. Winning pitcher was Newsom. Losing pitcher was Grimes. Plymouth First Comers won the second game over Green Sand Beach by a score of 5-2. Winning pitcher was Clemens. Losing pitcher was Avery. Darren Lewis robbed Whitey Herzog of a hit on an outstanding catch in deep left field in the fourth. The third game in Boston today between Green Sand Beach and Plymouth First Comers under partly cloudy skies, before a nice crowd of 2-6-3-1-1 was an extra-inning walk-off victory for the home squad when Baco lined a single between third and short. Edmonds scored. Winning pitcher was Righetti. Losing pitcher was Fannin. Here are the current standings. In the East Division, Miami Goldfish has a record of 58-56 and has a lead over Plymouth First Comers, who has a record of 58-56. Kentucky Mules has a record of 55-59. Hanks A Lot 6 has a record of 52-62. In the Central Division, Rocket Dogs has a record of 58 and 56 and has a lead over Baby Got Bat V, who has a record of 57 and 57. Electric Amish has a record of 53 and 61. Stonehurst Mighty Seasons has a record of 50 and 64. In the West Division, Bod Game of Thrones has a record of 68 and 46 and has a lead over Green Sand Beach, who has a record of 64 and 50. Got Bombed Redux has a record of 60 and 54. Doug Jonestown Massacre has a record of 51 and 63. Here is your GOT16 RD4 Doug Jones Injuries Report. For BIC's Boys Got 16 RD4. Bohannon, Brian, out for 3 more days, 3 more games. For Doug Jonestown Massacre. Losi, Kyle, out for 7 more days, 6 more games. For Final Failures. Westbrook, Jake, out for 13 more days, 12 more games. For Got Cha 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 4. Bartel, Dick, out for 2 more days, 2 more games. For GOT Morlocks 4. Harder, Mel, out for 2 more days, 2 more games. Here are the current batting leaders. The home run leader is McGuire, Mark from PFC, who has 38. The top RBI producer is McGuire, Mark from PFC, who has 101. The highest batting average belongs to Jeter, Derek from MGF, who is batting .320. The stolen base leader is Morgan, Joe from DJM, who has 32. The most game-winning RBIs is from Averill, Earl from BGB, who has 14. The longest current hit streak belongs to Mabry, John from SMS, who has hit in 9 straight. The longest hit streak belongs to Jeter, Derek from MGF, who hit in 21 straight. Here are the current pitching leaders. The ERA leader is Burley, Mark from BGO at 3.27. The top game winner is Burley, Mark from BGO, who has 17. The strikeout leader is Clemens, Roger from PFC, who has 173. The highest number of complete games belongs to Glavine, Tom from GSB, who has 9. Burley, Mark from BGO has the most innings pitched at 228.1. The saves leader is Gagne, Eric from BGB, who has 19. Here is tomorrow's schedule. Green Sand Beach is at Miami Goldfish in Marlins Park, 2015 to 2019, in Miami. Got Bombed Redux is at Kentucky Mules in Muhlebach Field, 1937 to 1942, in Kansas City. Doug Jonestown Massacre is at Stonehurst Mighty Seasons in Citi Field, 2009 to 2011, in New York. Bod Game of Thrones is at Electric Amish in Baker Bowl, 1915 to 1919, in Philadelphia. Plymouth First Comers is at Baby Got Bat V in Fulton County Stadium, 1991 to 1995, in Atlanta. Rocket Dogs is at Hanks A Lot 6 in American Family Field, 2017 to 2021, in Milwaukee. Thanks for listening to today's game. For the best classic fantasy baseball game on the market, visit imaginesports.com. Good night all and God bless.
And there used to be a ballpark where the field was warm and green, and the people played their crazy game with a joy I'd never seen, and the air was such a wonder, from the hot dogs and the beer. Yes, there used to be a ballpark right here.
The Whiz Kids had won it, Bobby Thompson had done it, and Yogi read the comics all the while. Rock and roll was being born, marijuana we would scorn. So down on the corner the national pastime went on trial. We're talking baseball, Klazuski, Campanella, talking baseball. The Man and Bobby Fella, the Scooter, the Barber, and the Nuke. They knew 'em all from Boston to Dubuque, especially Willie, Mickey, and the Duke. Well, Casey was winning, Hank Aaron was beginning, one Robbie going out, one coming in. Kiner and Midget Goodell, the Thumper and Mel Parnell, and Ike was the only one winning down